Tell me the duck story.
Oh my god.
Bum, bum.
Get the hell out of my house.
To a lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand,
Why would I have grapes, you duck? Hello, internets.
I actually needed to cough.
Okay, hello, internets. You are listening to Nerdly Kingdom Arcade Mode, where we pretend like we're actually going to talk about video games.
What we're really going to do is try to not get sued because Josh won't leave us alone and he won't stop.
Every time you say that, I just want to say, let's talk about
No!
Anyways, I'm Brad. Jacob's here. Say hi, Jacob.
Hi, I'm Jacob.
Say hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Okay, good. And we're going to talk about some stuff because I don't know how to intro this. And whatever. So, what do you want to talk about?
That's a good question.
While he's thinking, no.
Today we want to talk about video games.
It's crazy.
That's what you came here for.
I have something
For
to
some
talk
reason.
about that I forgot about, but now I want to talk about it again, but it doesn't have to be right now.
Just go ahead. That's a good thing to start off with.
Okay, have you guys seen Beat Saber?
No.
Beat Saber, no.
Oh my gosh, you haven't seen it. That makes it perfect for the intro thing, because I'm the only one who knows what I'm talking about, except for people that are listening, maybe.
You know what Beat Saber is.
It's on Steam. It's a VR thing. It makes you want to get an HTC Vive all the more. It is a rhythm game, but your controllers are lightsabers. And these blocks come up, and you have to cut them in a certain direction with a certain lightsaber. You have a blue lightsaber and a red lightsaber. And they're coming towards you, and you have to slice them, and there's directional ones or non-directional ones, and then there's, like, fields that you have to dodge while you're playing, so you're, like, slashing your lightsabers and dodging the red voids while you're playing. And this guy played through Fire and Flames, and, like
oh my
just,
gosh.
Like, he was just, like... and it was, like,
awesome.
ridiculous.
That sounds awesome,
And-
like you would die.
Yeah.
Dumb.
He didn't miss the note, either.
Well, of course not.
And on the... It was, I don't know.
Of course he didn't miss on the one he uploaded.
It was crazy. Well, yeah, but that's not the point. He still did it. You just need to watch
We
it.
do need to get a VR headset.
I
But,
know.
VR. The future.
Yeah.
Speaking of VR headsets, where's my VR headset?
that is the worst headset ever.
I won't put it on again. It distracts from what we're trying to do here.
But, Nintendo announced a, game.
He's
Air
using
quotes.
quotation marks.
Air quotes.
What were they called? Pokemon Let's Go?
Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit for not saying Pikachu first. It's okay. You don't have to be upset. So I'm getting the vibe that Brad has some problems. So let's talk about that.
I don't
No.
I don't know how to feel about it, honestly, with the whole mechanic. Like, at first I was like, they're using Pokemon Go mechanics to catch Pokemon. I was like, that actually kind of makes sense. But apparently you don't even battle the Pokemon, you just catch them, which is
that's
you know the core mechanic of the Pokemon games? Yeah. No, we're not going to put that in there. No, we don't need that.
And I can see. I would be upset about it. And see what it's a good business move, honestly, from Nintendo's standpoint.
Yes.
Because really, what they're trying to do now is use the massive popularity of Pokemon Go, which whether you play it or not, they still have a very big player base. A lot of people still play that game.
A lot of people I know that play that game don't play other Pokemon games.
Yeah, and that's what they're trying to translate. Oh, hey, I have this mobile game into actual, console sales and game sales. Because if you liked Pokemon Go and it's like, oh, I was going to buy a thing anyway. Maybe this is going to be the tipping point that pushes you towards the Switch. And I totally get it. I would not like what they did with the whole capture system, were it not for the fact that this is not the core RPG.
It's
Pokemon
only got the
game
first 151 Pokemon.
that they had not really promised, but this is not the core RPG Pokemon game that they were going to release for the Switch. That is coming later in 2019. That is the caveat to me. I don't mind that it's that way, strictly for that, because it has some cross functionality with Pokemon Go. It seems like you can put your Pokemon from the mobile game onto this game, but asterisk there, I don't think it's in a way that you can use them because in the little preview clip that they, the trailer, I guess you'd call it, it says Moltres was brought to Pokemon Go Park, and it's like probably a place that you can upload them onto there so that you can interact with them and stuff. Just like just a little fluff. It's just something you can do.
Yeah. Pause. Am I allowed to interrupt the flow of the video game talk? Why are your pants a grandmother's pillow?
I don't understand. I don't understand
that pattern.
I didn't notice them until just now.
You remember?
And I was like,
you remember years back when you bought me that pair of pants, the green Galaxy pants that were like that Galaxy pair of pants from Route 21 that I bought? You remember when you found them at the thrift store? And you said,
kind of.
That's what these are. They're the same material. And I love these pants.
I'm not saying the material. I'm saying the pattern on them.
I don't know.
I swear our grandmother had the same kind of... It kind of looks a little more jungly, but...
That is more like a pumpkin latte girl's summer dress.
Well, that's probably who it's
cute. It's called fashion sense, Josh.
Anyways, go back to Pokemon.
I don't even remember where we are.
That's why I asked, because I knew it would go off a little topic. Words are hard.
Back to Pokemon. I absolutely will not be buying this one, but that's okay because it's not for me.
If it was
I'm probably gonna buy it. I'm the Pokemon guy around here.
If it was one of those $30 games and not a $60 game, I would probably buy it. But
I mean,
the cartridge alone
it really, we're just gonna have to wait till we get more information about it.
Download it.
I think that it looks interesting because just from the clip that they showed, it looks like it's gonna bring back kind of the Pokemon riding mechanics that we saw in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Because they've got
mechanics?
Riding,
like Pokemon riding. You can ride Pokemon. But see, that's the thing is they basically replaced the HMs, which I was so happy with because it's just so bad
that you had to have a
Well, no, they were still HMs. They just weren't they were more like side stuff, and it wasn't like I have to have this.
Yeah, but did they treat them like HMs? You still couldn't unlearn them?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember. I just remember they weren't necessary.
I'm pretty sure. But I really love that they got rid of that. But basically what they did in Sun and Moon is instead of having HMs, you had Pokemon that you could ride that lets you go overcome this obstacle, like big boulder in the road. You get on a Tauros and you charge through it and just smash the rocks up with the thing's head. And I'm just like, poor thing. He's got to headbutt rocks all day.
They thought it was fun.
They probably got rid of that just so people would stop calling them HM slaves.
Yeah, and that's my thing.
You're not even allowed to name them that.
Everybody hated HM slaves. You hate having to have a slave because it just wastes this perfectly good slot.
Some of the moves are actually not bad though, like the waterfall.
I mean, yeah, they're not bad moves, but it really, if you have to have, it's not the fact that they're not bad moves. It's just that they're not the type of moves that you're gonna put in your thing for the whole meta game or whatever. But you have to have them if you want to go to a specific place, and that limits the one Pokemon you can have. Anyway, so. But in the little preview, it shows like the character riding around on a freaking Onix, flying around on the back of a Charizard, and it's like, that's pretty cool. Maybe you can just ride whatever Pokemon are big enough to be ridden. Or it might function similarly to the ride mechanic where it's specific Pokemon that you can call and do stuff with.
I've kind of lost faith in Nintendo as a whole.
I know. We've talked about this.
The Pokemon game has to really be like special for me to be like, yeah, I'm going to get that, and this is not that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm incredibly biased towards Pokemon. Yes. I love Pokemon.
I'm wearing a Pokemon. We are both wearing Pokemon shirts.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
I'm still in my work shirt, which is still nerdy, but it's the one I don't like, so.
Got Optimus Prime on it.
It's Tron and Optimus Prime.
Trontimus Prime.
I have one like that, but it's the Lego movie.
Oh, really?
That's way better. I don't really like Transformers that much. Sue me.
Don't really, please. We just talked about this.
Yeah,
we don't.
Man, I really do want.
He wants us to get sued.
Do we know anything about the actual Pokemon game?
No. It's going to be.
I have something.
Oh yeah, and another thing, if you didn't know, it takes place in Kanto. Josh did touch on it a little bit. It takes place in Kanto. Only does the core 150.
And they're pulling a full Pokemon Yellow, can't evolve your starter bullcrap.
Yeah. But
that's what I was.
And another
right.
thing about it, and I don't know if like the new Switch game, like the actual core RPG, is going to be the same way. But in this game, you not only do you not battle the Pokemon, you catch them the same way. Pokemon Go mechanics, you use the motion controls in your Joy-Con to
I would
throw
like
the
them
ball.
to keep that.
It has
as
slight.
an option, at
Yeah.
least.
It has a slight.
battle them and then throw it.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to be able to catch them like that after spending a little bit of time. And that's just what they showed. There's no telling if they actually are going to have that, because in the actual, again, in the trailer, they have trainer battles. You can battle trainers.
can
There's
battle
no
trainers.
guarantee that they weren't just showing that part there, because everyone knows you can't catch a trainer's Pokemon. So the part that they're going to show is that you
Until they make
throw
that
the
Team
ball.
Rocket game.
You throw the ball like
No.
Pokemon Go. It has slight
you-
co-op that you can see. They say that. I say slight because I don't know the limitations of it. But like, there's another person using the other Joy-Con playing with you. And they had a
you
Pokemon
can battle
too.
together too.
Yeah, no, but I don't know if they're like, if it's like you can join and like you have your own set of Pokemon, or if you just use one of my things, because they had
that
the
I
whole-
don't know.
That's
but
what I'm talking about. I'm calling it slight for now, because at the very least it allows you to, for some reason, both throw a Pokeball.
I mean, generally
at the same
with
time.
Nintendo multiplayer things, it's very much Little Brother Player 2 kind of multiplayer, which is great. I'm actually fully support any game that has a Little Brother Player 2 option.
For Dakota, one day.
when she goes in, it looks like her player's customized though. But I don't know. But
I mean,
anyways,
that's what I'm saying. I'm leaving it at slight, but that gives hope that maybe later on down the road, when we get the actual core RPG, like core series game, maybe they'll be like, you can play together. Maybe it'll be slightly multiplayer.
you can at least do.
Josh can get
co-op
on
battles.
his Switch, and I can get on my Switch, and we can join in the same world together.
That would
But
be
you
interesting.
actually, I was trying to touch on this earlier. Another little thing that you see in the trailer is that it's got, instead of finding the Pokemon out in the grass, you actually physically see the Pokemon walking
Yeah, you
around,
know which one's which.
and you run up and approach it instead of just random encounters in the tall grass. I thought that was pretty cool because I've always wanted to chase down a Pokemon.
Granted,
I think that
it
makes it too
probably works
easy.
in this context.
Yeah.
Makes it
but
easy to pick out what you want to get.
In general, I'm very against open world enemies, but then once you touch them, it's back to normal encounter screens. Imagine if a game like Kingdom Hearts did that. We're like, oh, there's the enemy, and you walked up and went, and then that's actually what Chain of Memories was like, and it was pretty obnoxious then too. So I don't know, but then again, if you're not battling and you're just like throwing crap, then I guess it makes sense. Although at that point, it would have been even cooler, just like, oh, there's one, and throw it right there instead of having to walk up.
But again, like, that would have like unless there was like a lock-on function or something, it'd be kind of hard to aim that.
I mean, I would
In the
assume.
throwing.
I mean, literally, they could like the screen that it zooms into. It could just do that instead of.
just turn instead
But
of
whatever.
actually,
It's,
like loading screen.
that would be a lot of effort for
So,
a very small.
I'm
amount
looking
of-
forward to it. I'm probably gonna buy it, just because that's just how
And-
I am.
As all Switch games, I'll mooch off of anyone that's bought it.
Yeah.
For casual players, you can like dress up your starter Pokemon and make them wear all sorts of different
They
stuff.
showcased a lot of outfits.
I get not evolving Pikachu, but Eevee is loved mainly because it has so many evolutions, which 151, you only have an option of 3 probably in the game.
You get
But the
get
fact
two
that
of
you can start
ones.
out with an Eevee, but you can't evolve it, is dumb to me. And that is...
It's okay. It's to protect
the thing.
anyone
But
from
at the
evolving
same
into
time-
a Flareon.
Yeah, like you don't really know because
You don't have to fight Pokemon
because
anyways.
even on the thing, the Eevee or the Pikachu, they like basically ride on your head, a la Pikachu rides on Ash's
I know,
head.
I
during the
want
thing.
a Vaporeon on my head,
I know,
not
but
an
what
Eevee.
I'm saying is like
I don't like
there's
Eevee.
no
Eevee
guarantee.
is just
There's
a...
no guarantee that you can't just go and catch an Eevee and do that same stuff
Eevee
later.
is the same as Magikarp.
Because I feel like that Pokemon
not
is
entirely
more of
true.
a
No, it is entirely true. Except that it can attack. But I don't let it.
I would love to see
I put
you
it out
use Splash.
first. A Vaporeon could.
I don't think it works.
I think it actually learns
Oh,
Splash.
Also,
I'm curious now. Let's find
it's
out.
I
probably
don't think it
obvious,
does. I don't
but
think it
there's
does.
no breeding in Let's Go either.
Yeah.
Has that been confirmed?
Yes.
Oh, of course it does. Because basically what it's going to function as is their remake of Pokemon Yellow version. And there was no breeding in that, so I wouldn't be... I'm not at all surprised that there's not.
Yeah.
But I feel like Pokemon Let's Go, because you can, like, with the whole thing with the Pokemon Go functionality, I feel like it's more of a casual thing. And let's face it, you don't need to freaking breed if you're just playing that game. That's basically just like, I'm gonna get the perfect, you know.
Yeah, you don't have breeding. To know about IVs or EVs.
The only thing you use breeding for is if you have one of the ones that has the baby form, you breed it for the baby form. But you don't need breeding.
There's no eggs.
You don't need breeding unless you're a hardcore player.
Fun fact: I love how much Splash is such a well-known thing that it actually does stuff. Like, apparently if gravity's in effect, you can't use Splash because you can't splash. And there's a lot of Pokemon that can no Splash, but apparently in Sun and Moon, you can upgrade Splash, and it raises your attack by 3 stages.
Huh.
What?
Yeah.
You can upgrade it?
Yeah, into Z-Splash, as a Z move.
Oh, you can make it as a Z move? That's awesome.
And it's basically a better version of like every other attack.
It is the 151, but there are the Alolan versions in it. Yeah, and
because everyone wants a Alolan Meow.
What took over Mega Evolution? Isn't it something else?
It was the Z moves.
Oh, okay. There's all the extra stuff that you can get from the other games are in this game, just only with the 151.
I really wish they had just followed through on the Mega Evolutions. But I don't know, they decided not to.
See, I will say one issue I have with Pokemon games is every time you get a Pokemon game, there's a really cool feature, and you're like, wow, this is so awesome, and then the next one comes out, and it's not in it.
Yeah.
If you want Mega Evolutions, play Digimon.
Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
The search thing.
The search function.
Oh my
where you can
gosh.
search for the Dex Nav, when you can search for the specific Pokemon, and you have the whole sneaking mechanic to sneak up on the things. That is so awesome. And then Sun and Moon, they're like, oh, we don't need that anymore.
I broke the game because of that, though, to be fair. I searched for the evolved seagull things, the pelican monster thing.
Yeah.
And I kept doing it. And I kept doing it because, the more you find them, the more info you'll have on them when you search for them.
Yeah.
And I kept doing it until they had lucky eggs. And I had like 20 lucky eggs until every Pokemon was just like massively overleveled.
Oh, yeah. But
what are you going to do?
Exploit the game?
Exploit the game.
Apparently.
Well, I mean, to be fair, by the time that you get to the point where you need to do that, leveling up just becomes a chore.
I can never play Pokemon games long enough anyways.
The game doesn't start until you beat it. Because then you can start doing the cool stuff.
Yeah, then you can start doing all the cool stuff.
I've beat the... What are they called? The 4?
I just want my remastered Gen 4, dadgummit.
I know.
Is that what they're called?
One day.
The Elite 4?
Yeah.
I beat them in one game.
Yeah, Josh is not a Pokemon player.
I'm more of a guy to catch them all. I'm a
Frankly,
real
I didn't
Pokemon
start until
player.
Platinum came out. So it's pretty late for me.
Silver was my favorite until Soul Silver came
in other
out.
Pokemon news, this may or may not be your thing. I know that mobile gaming is becoming... Yeah, don't worry about it. There's a new game that's... It's a Pokemon game, technically. It's out on Switch right now. It's
called
free.
Cubble Doodles.
It's called Pokemon Quest. And
I was close.
And it's like...
It's
like a little Pokemon mobile game. Everything's like... If you ever saw the Pixelmon mod for Minecraft...
That's why they shut it down.
Well, technically they were in the wrong, but Pixelmon was one of the best things ever.
Yeah. So it's kind of, the game takes place in like that kind of design. Like you have like little tiny voxel based cute little cube.
It takes
Pokemon,
place in
and it's like on a little island, and you go around. But it's free, and it's got the whole packages you can purchase and stuff like that. Yeah, because that means there's microtransactions out the wazoo. But
Nintendo does not handle microtransactions well.
Yeah.
At all. Okay, like, what is that? You know that the Bejeweled Candy Crush Pokemon game? Normal games
Pokemon
are like
Rumble?
Yeah, normal games, you have like what, 5
Tumble Cube
you have
Island.
5 energy hearts, whatever, we'll just call them hearts, they're hearts in the Pokemon one. And generally other games, like, you use one and then like 5 to 10 minutes later, depending on the game, you get it back, and so you can play once every 5 minutes. So the Pokemon game takes 30 minutes per heart. Like, if you have like 3 to start off with, I think, and like you do it, you cannot play again for another hour and a half.
Yeah. And whatever. It's just another thing. I'm just gonna let you be aware of it. It's coming to.
Don't encourage it.
I'm not encouraging.
I can't even pronounce what they're called.
We're not here to encourage. We're here to inform.
Pixelmon was so much better than Pokazules. Because-
Pokexels, because it's a Pokemon
Pokexels?
voxel.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Anyway,
Voxel Pokemon.
just be aware. There's another Pokemon
Poke-
mobile game. It's not
Pokexel?
Magikarp
Staple?
Jump. So, just while we're on the subject of Pokemon, it's free. It's out on the Switch now. It's coming out in this month, June. At time of the recording. No
Oh,
telling
look,
when it'll
it
actually
literally
be up,
is a
but-
mobile game. It'll be available for iOS and
Yeah,
Android.
It's.
in late
I mean,
June.
it is. It's
Did you
coming
already
out.
say that?
That's literally what I just said.
I wasn't listening to you because
I
I
was
was
too
reading
busy
it.
trying-
I
to
wasn't
get
listening
sued.
either. I was checking the levels.
Anyway, so nobody listens. Hopefully you are.
What?
Anyways, enough about Pokemon.
Okay.
I'm disappointed in it.
Well,
Until
yeah,
until they remaster my Gen 4, then I might do something.
yeah, but you know it's not ever gonna happen. So what I'm hoping is that what I'm hoping.
They'll probably skip
I
straight
want-
to Gen 5.
want-
What
Pokemon
they should do? What
Online.
they should do is just like what they should do is just like they got the power now. Make us a crappy graphic game that has all of them in it, all of the things you can go because like
they will never do
that is a bit. I know, but it's such
They
an
have
issue.
literally said
with me.
they will never do
An
It's
that.
open
such-
world MMO style thing like that would be very
It is such, and
It'd be
just
pretty hard,
just
too.
think about what they did with Breath of the Wild.
Someone else do it.
Just think about what they did with Breath of the Wild. They just did that, but with Pokemon.
Why are there only Lisfolios in Breath of the Wild?
There's not. There's a few more enemies.
No, I mean there's no Airsfolios or
Oh, you're talking about-
Dinosfolios
Yeah.
or however you say them.
There's
no
it's
pose either.
Lizalfos, Dinofols,
That's
and
not how you say it.
Aerofols. That is how you
He's
say it.
wrong.
No.
Look it up.
Lizalfos.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Don't argue.
What's
with me on this.
what's next in the list or first in the list?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about next?
I don't remember what's on the list. That's why I was asking.
Fallout 76.
Yeah, we have.
Let's talk about that.
We have Fallout
Okay,
76.
I was gonna...
So, I'm sure you all saw they had the little teaser thing. They changed their Facebook cover profile.
Oh wait, I did see it. I was about to say
They
I did see
tweeted
it.
the please stand by thing, and they did all kind. They had a freaking live stream that was like 6 hours long of just like
A bobblehead.
a
That did
bobblehead
nothing.
that was just sitting there. It's just like, and people were watching this. There were like hundreds of thousands of
Well,
people
they-
sitting here staring at
They
the
were waiting
thing,
for
waiting.
something to
Easter
happen.
egg. Yeah.
Just wait.
And then they disappointed us all by not coming out with New Vegas Remastered.
We don't need a New Vegas remaster.
New Vegas.
See, I'm one of the people that has the really unpopular opinion of liking Fallout 3 more than I like.
Get the hell out of
New
my
Vegas.
house! What is wrong with
Like-
you?
Like really unpopular.
Man,
opinion.
Fallout. Okay,
So what happened to me?
Fallout 3. You come in. It's like you talk to a person. You have no dialogue options. You go over here. It looks like over here. It looks like over there. It looks like
I
over
know.
there. Nothing you do in that game is different. Everything's the same. It's the most boring game I've ever played. No, I take it back. Oblivion was the most boring game.
Yeah,
I've
I
ever
like.
Oblivion. Oblivion had 3 character models, 3 voice actors in 2 settings. Grassy Plains. No, 3 settings. Grassy Plains, Snowy Mountain, Oblivion. Nothing varied.
No, you forgot Forest.
That's just grassy plains with trees.
Oblivion is the best Elder Scrolls
Okay,
out there.
we're not going into this right now. We're not going. So I had that opinion. There's
Absolutely
something
not.
about it. My problem. It's not that I don't like New Vegas. I love New Vegas. It's a great game.
But
I
it's
just-
better than Fallout 3. We get it.
But I played it, and just from the circumstances, I cannot play New Vegas because there is no game in the world that I hate the fucking beginning of more than Fallout New Vegas.
Well,
I
here's-
hate the beginning of that game because I've done it
The actual
probably
beginning.
literally 100,000
I
times.
beat that game in less than an hour.
The actual real issue is that Fallout 3 plays like an Elder Scrolls game. And Fallout New Vegas plays like a Fallout game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the setting feels like a Fallout game. The way the people act feel like a Fallout game. The options you have feel like a Fallout
I think
game.
what it is for me more than anything is I just like, because I have this weird thing where like I will have a game that I've been playing on for hundreds of hours or whatever, but if it's been like a year and a half, if I play a game again, I just start over. I don't want to try to pick up
Yeah.
where I left off because I have no idea what the hell's going on anymore. Whether
you
it's
don't wanna
quests
start
or no,
the
That's
Fallout
the
New
beauty of a
And so
Fallout
I
game,
started-
is not knowing what's going
and
on.
Fallout 3, because it was such a leap from Fallout 2-ish, just because it was the first time it was the
it's
wasteland was
completely different.
realized in 3D,
Yeah.
and it's just got that aesthetic when you just like walk out of the vault for the first time and you like blinded by the bloom from the sun, and it's just such a cool experience, and it's like it kind of captures that for me every time I play it. Whereas New Vegas, there's just something about the beginning of it that I just don't like. And since, like I said, if I haven't played it in a long time and I start over, I've just started that one over so many times that I can't get to the good stuff.
You wake up dead
because fuck that dog, fuck Cheyenne. I don't give a shit about that dog anymore.
You don't even remember
Exactly.
the beginning place with
What's her name?
Dynamite
Sunny?
Pete and
What's her name?
Sunny.
Sunny
I
Styles.
just leave.
I know, but I can't leave because she gives you free stuff, and I'm just like, I need the free stuff because I'm a hoarder.
The beginning is kind of boring because you always, if you follow
Like,
the story,
If I make it
That's
past
the beauty
that
of a
part,
Fallout game.
if I make
Do
it
whatever you
past that
want,
part,
man.
I love it.
well, see, you go
Walk
straight
in,
from
steal
there
some stuff, and just walk in a
to the
random
other
direction.
place where the Kaisers are, and then do that, and then you're immediately hated by the Kaisers, and you see them every 3 seconds of the game.
Yeah.
Which is literally what made me quit one time because
That
I
is
could
fair.
not beat them.
They went really.
Came back years later, used a stealth boy, and they ran away.
They did
Nothing.
go a little. Actually, no. You know what? I never had a problem with them, but I have heard a lot of people say it. So I guess it is an issue. It may just depend. But
Anyway, we probably should talk about Fallout New Vegas anymore.
But I do want to talk about the fact that
It's not like we know anything about 76, except the year.
I'm going to complain because I've been playing Skyrim.
2102.
And I don't know if it works in Fallout 3, but in Fallout New Vegas it does. Like, I was playing Skyrim, and I was being chased, and I killed a guard and put on its armor, and they arrested me. I was like, that would have worked in New Vegas. Dadgummit, I could have walked out of there with that armor on.
Okay. So this is what I want to say. So I've been doing a lot of research about it since then. There's rumors. There's always the rumors about Fallout 76.
A lot of the rumors about Pokemon Let's Go ended up being true.
Yeah, no. It depends on it depends on where you go. Depends on who you listen to. Not even sources. Specific people that are always right because somehow they know.
If we just have to wait for a few weeks. Remember Fallout 4? They knew where it was just by looking at the trailer for like 2 seconds.
That's true.
So what you do, and this pro tip in NSFW, you go to Pornhub because that's where they post all the leaks.
Oh.
That's where they post all the leaks. I saw so many Fallout 4 leaks on Pornhub because that's where they put them because Bethesda's not scrolling through Pornhub to try to look for Fallout 4
They are
leaks.
now.
I mean, I'm sure they actually are.
They're going to listen to this specific podcast.
So that's just a thing. At your own discretion, you can find some pretty. I'm not gonna say pretty good things because that just kind of puts some connotations on there. But just so you know,
Pretty
but
nice.
I personally, because I love this type of game. From what I've heard about it, from what I've seen about it, Fallout 76 was started off. Basically, the development of it kickstarted off of just Bethesda kind of trying out something. They wanted to see what a multiplayer Fallout would look like, and Fallout 76 is rumored to be an online survival RPG set in the Fallout universe.
See,
Me personally, like I said, I'm excited about it because multiplayer Fallout, it's got base build. It might have base building like how Fallout 4 did, which is hit or miss. But I think if that's the purpose of the game, it's still going to be an RPG. It's not going to be a core RPG type, like Fallout.
That would make sense if the story of the vault is
people are actually coming out.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
That's what lends itself so perfectly because Vault 76 was obviously, a lot of people know, a control vault. It was one of the ones that's not a freaky experiment to kill everybody.
This makes sense. So the story isn't about the vault. It's actually about what happens. Okay.
Because
it would make sense why so many people are coming out at the same time.
And that's where I got it from. Is it's like, and that's what we were talking about this before we started recording. Y'all were talking about when it was going to take place. He says 2102 because that's what his Pip-Boy says, which makes sense because that's within the time frame that I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because Vault 76 was supposed to open 20 years after it was closed, so that's like 8 years late. Little bit of time passed, and I could see it honestly as being we get out of the vault, and basically what we are is the first pioneers of the new wasteland. And it's like an online.
If
You
this
go
is an
around and you're
online
founding
thing-
things, and I could see you being the person that founds fucking Megaton. You're the person that founds, what's the Rivet City?
Imagine
stuff like
being
that,
the first person to find a ghoul that's not feral.
Yeah. And see,
Weird.
I imagine it being that way, like that is such a
Or
that
even
is
a
such
society
cool,
of ghouls.
What year did you say it was
I
going
mean,
to be?
I was saying about
what did the Pit Boys say?
2102.
2102.
Which is probably...
It's so early.
What is? Yeah, it really is.
Because I was like, I would love a DLC when but it doesn't happen until 2277. I would love a DLC where the Vault 87 gets opened up because that's the Super Mutant Vault.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like, you could play through that.
Man, if it is online, you can't have different races, probably.
Probably not.
But no, the first thing
But
I
that's what I was
thought...
saying. You have a DLC
Yeah,
where you can play
but
through
could you imagine that? A Fallout game that is still an RPG
I can see you playing as a
with
ghoul.
skills.
Yeah, maybe. But you wouldn't come out of the vault, probably.
No.
But when we were first talking about it, how it's an actual vault that opens up.
Or you can be like, what's your face? And like you can go through a process and become a ghoul. If you nuke Megaton,
Oh, yeah,
she
right.
becomes a ghoul.
Sally Springs,
I don't know.
something like that. Anyways, my first thought was it was going to be like a group game, like a leader game, where you're the one guy and you have like the followers that help you. I hate games like that, so that's what I was hoping it wasn't. Like there's a Star Wars
That's
game
what
like
I
that.
turned Skyrim
Commando.
into.
Yeah, it kind of is. But the Star Wars Commando, I think, is what it's called. But yeah, I don't like games like that.
Yeah.
But that would be way better. Basically, Elder Scrolls Online, but Fallout probably.
Yeah. Except for Elder Scrolls Online, kind of missed it with me.
It's so
I tried
close
it
to being Elder
because
Scrolls and so
it's
close
so
to not.
close to being Elder Scrolls, but then it has all the MMORPG
Yeah,
elements that I
exactly.
hate, and that's what ruins it for me. It's just it's so close to being a good Elder Scrolls game for me, but it's just too MMO. I don't like MMOs.
Which one? Oh,
Elder Scrolls Online.
It's fun with people you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, I never got to play it with anybody
usually how it
that,
is.
that I
But
got
we
to play
didn't.
with.
We still didn't
Yeah.
last very long. Hey, fun fact: mod for Skyrim to be multiplayer is actually getting really close to being
I know, that'd be
usable.
awesome. That would be
In
awesome.
other gaming news, RuneScape Classic is to close.
And
Who cares?
Josh is just super upset.
Classic? No.
Yeah, I know.
I tried to play it a long time ago.
Well, I mean, it was terrible.
Fun fact: I was just reading Fallout things in general. They think that maybe the reasons ghouls exist at all, because it should kill you, is because of the fourth evolutionary virus they use to make super mutants. It also affects normal people, and it can make you resist the radiation, become a ghoul.
Oh, maybe.
But see, what an interesting thing is, if this game does take place at a certain point of the timeline,
I
that
forgot
would
you
lead
said
it to
2102.
yeah, 2102. That would
That's
lead it.
before Fallout.
That would
1.
lead it. That would lead it to be the point where there are no super mutants or anything. There wouldn't be. You'd basically just be fighting the monsters of the wasteland, and I like
there
the
might
things
be
I've seen
stuff
about it.
that's extinct by the
obviously,
time
is
we
it-
play in the
yeah,
other ones.
like, It's gonna be.
It's gonna be a game full of golden geckos as far as the eye can see.
There's no
Fine.
telling. There's so many things they could do because if it takes place that early in the timeline, this is a
Dude.
spot that no Fallout game has ever touched before.
You know who's going to be the bad guy? The Enclave.
Fallout, that's
Probably.
always the Enclave.
Probably.
I know, but they're going to be the only thing there. Except things. Oh my gosh, what if there's a farming mechanic and you can become a
Let me
Brahmin
double-check
farmer?
this.
I bet there is. The things I've read that it's gonna focus. It's gonna have.
Yeah.
It's still an RPG. It's going to have a main quest line. It's going to have stuff like that, but it's going to focus heavily on rebuilding and having resource management and like being an online survival
Hopefully it's
RPG.
better than the building and.
Hopefully it's better than the building in 4, but I feel like Fallout 4 had the settlement mechanic as a hey, you can do this, whereas 76 is going to be hey, you need to do this.
Well, see, the
Because
problem with
the settlement building system became really important if you ever played Fallout 4 on survival mode. Just
but
because you can't fast
became-
travel and it's helpful to have all these places.
It became so tedious, though. Like, there was no variation, and it would have been nice if any sort of like, oh, we need help was like, we've run out of food, but every we need help is just being like, you have to run halfway across the map because some bad guys ran halfway across the map.
Yeah.
It's like,
So again, that system was hit or miss with a lot of people, but
Add
I feel like
power, add
if
water,
they
we're fine.
completely revamp it
Yeah.
and they just they could have a whole different
Yeah.
skill system and all the other things
first
that
Fallout
make
is-
it better, and if they focus more on
it, yeah.
that aspect of it, it could be really great because we all love Minecraft. Maybe you don't, but you build the shit out of some stuff. You know, if you have a really good system
that's
for
like
building
kind of
stuff,
asked
I like building stuff. so that's okay.
2107?
2.
02.
2102.
2102.
Okay, well,
It's like 2012, man.
I know, that's what I read it as at first, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. A lot of people said that. They
Yeah.
were like, this game actually takes place in 2012, and I'm like, no.
so that's it's only 25 years after the war started.
And ended. Because the war didn't really
it's
start.
probably going to come out
That's true.
in October, November too, because every new Fallout game so far.
Oh yeah, it says right here, the war lasted less than 2 hours.
That was when it started. They were like, nuclear war, and...
Well, I mean, if everyone gets destroyed.
Real quick.
The
I'm
thing
gonna
is
interrupt you one more time.
everyone destroyed,
So
or
that's
is it just the
62
U.S.?
years before Fallout 1.
Wow,
Be interesting.
that's weird.
There's no telling what it's going to be like.
Oh my gosh,
'Cause really, 'cause if you think
we're gonna
about
get
it-
to start the Brotherhood.
Maybe.
Hopefully it's got a better main
They were actually
mechanic than
pre-war.
Fallout 1.
The Brotherhood of Steel is actually pre-war.
Yeah, but
Yeah, probably not
War
the way
it.
we know it though.
A lot of the factions that are in Fallout are actually they were pre-war factions that were formed because of the resource wars that led up to the Great War. Doesn't matter.
But
Yeah, but well, it doesn't matter.
Potentially. I'm excited about it. I love online survival RPGs.
the whole point
I
of
love survival games. There's just
I wonder
something
how
about
it'll
them
be.
that I love. And specifically the online portion, because survival games are hit or miss when you're playing by yourself, but there's nothing more fun to me than getting together a group of friends and just screwing around and trying to survive in some crazy
I
environment.
wonder if it's going to be
Pretty cool.
open or if it's going to be like instant, where it's just you
people
or the people
join
you
I don't
your
know.
game.
It might be like
Or-
server based, where kind of like Sea of Thieves, where it's
Server-
like
oh yeah,
there's a certain amount of
maybe.
people in the world with you at any time.
Yeah,
and you
but
can
server
form
based
parties.
is
But see, that's
going
what.
out because it's
Yeah.
stupid.
I
'Cause
mean,
It's like imagine that's the problem with World of Warcraft. Like two people in World of Warcraft get together and they go, it's like you meet someone's like, oh, you play World of Warcraft? What server are you on? And you have like a 1 in 20 chance of ever being able to play with this person.
Yeah.
And like, oh, never mind. And that 1 in 20 chance you do, like, oh, cool. And you find out you're on a different alliance, and you're like, oh, never mind.
And
It's
then
like-
when
it's
you
like-
are
it's
on
like-
the same alliance, you're like, oh, we both already have guilds. Oh well.
See,
it's
what
like
I hope,
playing a different game.
what I would hope from it is like
I have
one
no
thing
idea
that
what
I
I'm
one
from.
thing. So what I've always got is survival games. You know, they need like if it's going to be multiplayer, it needs to be like multiplayer where like me and Josh and Brad can join together and we're all working together for the same goal, and we're going towards the same goal. Like as in like
Yeah.
if there's like a resource type thing, like you have like set number of food resources, like we need to all be able to have access to that. That way Brad could easily screw us over by accidentally doing something, and it's not just like Brad screws up really bad and it just affects Brad. Like there's a good balance there to like
Yeah,
make
see,
it that way.
That's the problem with.
But I like the idea of having a community that
Yeah.
you all three, and I understand they try not to do stuff like that because it's like, oh, well, if you're not playing with them right now, then you're worse because of it. But it's like, if I get a game like that, and it's good, I can play by myself, but really I'm going to focus on trying to play with someone.
That's kind of what Crowfall is. Like, that's why the leveling up system happens in real time, whether you're playing or not.
Yeah.
Is so that if you're not playing all the time, you can still keep up, but at the same time, you still have to work together with the people that are on. The problem with Guild Wars 2 is that there is no incentive to work together in any real way. And so, like, literally, you never form a party. There's never a reason to. You don't get any benefit out of it. So, like, a giant monster spawns, like, big old dragon falls from the sky. 100 people show up. No one says a
leave.
word to each other.
Yeah.
Everyone leaves. It's like, I could be playing a single-player game. What's the point? If all they have to do is add something like, if you're in a party, you get 5% more gold, and like all that's all it would take, and all of a sudden people would be partying up and working together. But because they're not smart enough to add that tiny little thing, I can get on that game, and it's full of hundreds and hundreds of people, and it's like I'm playing a game by myself.
Yeah. All they'd have to do is make Magic Find the only way to get it is a party system.
So then basically, Magic Find doesn't even exist anymore.
I know, that's my thing.
It was hard not to segue into this, but I'm going to go ahead and segue into this. So I've been playing recently. It came out just now, like on the 22nd, it came out. State of Decay 2. So it's an Xbox exclusive game. It's out on Game Pass for free if you have Xbox Game Pass. It is a play anywhere game, so you can play with your buddies on PC.
Is that what that means though? Because sometimes play anywhere means you can play anywhere, but it doesn't mean you can multiplayer.
Yeah, you can. It is cross-platform with
so
PC.
Microsoft exclusive.
Yeah, it's Microsoft. That's what.
And play anywhere has to be Microsoft.
Yeah. Because you can't buy it
Xbox
specifically. You can't buy it on Steam and play with your buddies on Xbox. But if you buy it through the Microsoft
just like
store,
Sea of Thieves.
you can play it through. Yeah, it's just like Sea of Thieves. Same thing, same concept. It's made in house by.
So
Microsoft.
we could have been multiplayer.
So yeah, we could have.
Why didn't you tell me that?
I remember. Hold on.
Y'all didn't even say anything. I asked you if you heard about it, and you said no, and that was it. No.
I was waiting for you to say something about it.
Okay,
hold on. I figured out what was wrong with my Discord. Like the notification thing was all the same, but they added a new thing, and all of Discord notifications got set to medium importance, which is no sound. So all the ones that had sound got turned off because of that one. So that I wasn't getting any notifications from y'all talking on anything.
Okay, so anyway, so this is.
Wait,
I was having a hard time because
76?
when I was talking to. Okay.
Kind of.
Do you have anything else for Vault 76?
Ish. You're talking about survival games, and I was just gonna put it out there that the best survival game I've ever played is Don't Starve Together.
That's a
I
fun
cannot
game.
figure out that game to save my life.
Okay, yeah, no, it's really hard.
Anyway, State of Decay. I don't know anything about it.
I'm hoping that they do it different than how State of Decay does. Obviously, it's a different company entirely. So State of Decay, the original one, I never played it. But from my understanding, it was a survival game. It was not online. It had no multiplayer. And that's why a lot of people were glad that they added it in State of Decay 2. There was no multiplayer. It's basically a third-person, zombie survival game. You're in a place and you have resources, you have bases. So State of Decay 2, yeah, I know the zombie thing's way overplayed, but I've always really enjoyed it if they do it right.
The zombie thing is overplayed, but I've yet to see it done
well.
Yeah. 7 Days to Die is actually pretty good.
7 Days to Die.
Okay, so this is it.
Made by Satan.
Well, that's why it's good.
So I've been playing it, and I play exclusively with my girlfriend. We just sit down next to each other on our separate Xboxes and just play together. This is the system that I was trying to get away with, not segueing directly into this when I was saying it. But the way State of Decay does co-op is it's basically, you have your own single player game, and then she has her own single player game, and I can join her game, and basically all I'm there to do is contribute to her community. And so it kinda is a little screwed up because, so the way the game works is you have.
Well, not if you always play together.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, let me. I'm getting there.
Okay.
So I play it exclusive. It's fun to play by yourself anyway. But what it is it's a zombie survival game. There's special types of zombies, kind of like Left 4 Dead. There's the feral and bloaters that blow up in a big cloud of smoke, and there's a juggernaut that's basically the tank from freaking, and it's terrifying. There's screamers that scream and bring a bunch of zombies around. The zombies are kind of. And there's plague zombies. And if you get attacked by them too much, you get the blood plague and you slowly start dying until you become a zombie unless you can cure it. Because you can get a cure, which you do by getting plague samples from the zombies. Doesn't matter. So...
Can you cure zombies?
No.
They're
dead.
So the cure only works if you're not
still alive,
quite
I
a
guess.
zombie.
I don't know the lore.
That
I'm not
makes
pretending
sense.
to
Do you
understand.
have the Ultimate Edition or just the regular one?
I think just the regular one.
The second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The second,
Ultimate
the regular
edition's already out?
The regular one's 30. The Ultimate Edition has 2 DLCs that add new.
Well, they haven't released DLCs yet for it, have they?
Yeah, it's right here.
They're planning on releasing.
Looking at it right now. I can buy it right now.
Can you pre-buy them?
DLC?
Ultimate Edition comes with the Independence Pack and the Daybreak Pack.
What do those two things do?
It says as released, so maybe they're not technically.
Yeah, this game came out on the 22nd.
That's
Well,
what
like, so
few
apparently I
days
can
ago.
pre-order it, but it doesn't say
Exactly.
pre-order anywhere on it.
They are definitely
It's an expansion
100%
pass.
releasing to.
You're buying it with the
So-
expansion pass.
But so you haven't bought those yet?
No, I haven't bought the game yet. It's on Xbox Game Pass.
Well, I
Just
know,
play
but
it for
I'm
free.
saying, okay.
but-
do you not always have it until you don't have Game Pass anymore?
Yeah,
Regardless.
I do have it. I don't know if the DLC. I don't know how that works.
I know, but I just meant like you don't have to buy it.
So
as long
anyway,
as
the
you
way
keep
it
Game
works is
Pass,
you can.
I
So
think.
all the characters in the game are randomly generated. So like they all have their own strengths and weaknesses. Like you might happen to randomly get a person that has asthma, so they don't have as much. So their stamina like goes down faster. Or they don't have as much stamina, and everything totally permadeath. If one of your characters dies, they are dead for good.
And then you
They're
restart
gone.
as a new random
Well,
character.
so this is how it works. So when you first start off the game, you pick from a group of survivors,
Okay.
and you get to pick two of them.
And then they
There's
have
and
children.
there's like groups of two. It's like you don't get to pick one from this group and one from this group. There's a few of them. If you skip the tutorial, you can actually kind of re-roll them until you find two that you like. But you have to switch between. Like you don't pick a person that you want to be. You have to switch amongst everyone in your community, and you can recruit more people as you find some out in the, you have saved the survivor out in the
Wilderness.
wasteland or wilderness, whatever. You can save people, and you can go over there and do all the quests for them, and then they'll join your group. But the people, as you're playing them, they become fatigued, they get tired, and you can't be them anymore, otherwise you're going to kill them. And you have to switch amongst your people, so it really kind of encourages you. It has a kind of simple leveling system. All characters have a cardio stat, which is for sprinting and stuff. They have wits, which is like searching containers and stuff like that. There's fighting, which is straight up hand-to-hand combat with melee weapons, which the weapon system is really cool. They have durability system, where you have to repair weapons using parts, which is just a big broad term. You literally just find a thing called parts. And then shooting, obviously. And each one of those skills has a certain number of like specializations that, depending on what your character is, what they rolled, they'll get to pick between two specializations. And once you pick one, that's it. And you level that up all the way. It's a pretty cool system. I like it. It encourages you to try to go out and find people in the wasteland. But I'm going to get back to the multiplayer aspect of it. It's like I was telling Brad, it's a kind of self-contained thing where, like, if I join your game, I'm only there to help you. And so, like, if I use the facilities, like, there's an infirmary that you can go and heal your people, and it uses meds resource. That's just, like, big, broad terms. Resources are food, materials, meds, stuff like that, ammo. But when I go to the facility and I use the stuff, I still use my stuff from my single player game. I don't use the ones that are for you. So in my case, when I'm playing the game just exclusively with her, because like when I get home we want to play together, we just play. I don't ever play it single player. I'm getting to the point where like when I go out into the thing and I find a rucksack of meds and I bring it back, it goes into her meds storage. And so then I go over there and try to heal myself. And I can't use the meds I just found because it goes to her stuff, and I can't use her stuff. I still use my stuff when I'm in the game.
So you do have to play your own single player too?
Ish. I just get to the point. I haven't actually had a reason to use any of those things yet, because you can find other things. You can still use the infirmary to craft and stuff, which they use different types of resources to craft stuff. And so I can craft a first aid kit if I get injured or something like that, whatever. But one thing I will say about the game, which it might have gotten fixed now, I don't know. I tried to play it this morning and there was a 20 gigabyte update, which is, oh my god, ridiculous. But they fixed a lot of issues. The game is very buggy. Very badly buggy. Like, try to get in the car and the car vibrates and then ricochets off 300 feet off into the distance and explodes. Buggy. Which, personally, I don't let bother me because I think it's freaking hilarious and I love it. But when the consequences is, oh shit, this car just killed me and there's permadeath, it kind of affects it a little bit because you're like, I could drive this car, but there's also a chance that at any moment this car could go haywire and kill me for no reason. Because there are vehicles in the game you can go and find and repair, and you got to put gas in them and all this stuff. It's a really fun game. I really enjoy it. I 100% recommend it. But be prepared for any kind of crazy bugs. Like if you just go to YouTube at any moment, type in State of Decay 2 glitches, you can see mounds of hilarious crap.
You know.
But it's really fun. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's only $30.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's only $30.
So
because it doesn't really have a plot. Each individual character kind of will randomly get like a quest that they want to go do, and it's like go over here and find this thing, or go over here and do this thing, and it's kind of got like a little plot in the fact that you're trying to, I think, contain the outbreak in your little area, because there's 3 open worlds that are actually pretty sizable. If you played the first State of Decay, there's 3 worlds that are each about the size of the entire world that there was in State of Decay. So it's really, and you can switch between them in certain ways while you're playing the game, or you can pick which one you want to start in at the beginning. But could not recommend it enough, especially if you want to play with somebody. It's fun. But even as a single player thing, it still seems like it'd be really fun to play by yourself. Because when I first played it, I was, getting all into it, had my headphones on, I was getting really immersed, and it kind of had like a little, when I was sneaking around at night trying to find the zombies, it had a really good vibe to it. If you can get past the glitches. If you're not into that, then I don't recommend it, because it is a little screwed up. But I'm one of those people that I think glitches are hilarious, as long as they're not so game breaking that you can no longer, go forward. Because then they get a little frustrating. But just like watching your character fly off in the distance for no reason, it's funny sometimes. Getting stuck in the wall. And it's funny because they've in their own way kind of acknowledged that it's this way, because they have a specific dedicated button in your radio commands that is unstuck, and you can make yourself unstuck from the environment. If you get stuck, you just use that, and it puts you right back out. And I get it, because that's a problem with a lot of open world games. Is that they can't possibly check for collision everywhere. They try.
Every good game should have an unstuck thing.
They try, but you're gonna walk somewhere where the left top corner of this shelf is not, the collision doesn't work on it, and you're gonna jump onto it and fall down into the shelf and get stuck forever because it works the other way, but not that way.
I was playing Skyrim, and I was on the porch outside of Whiterun, and I sat down on one of the chairs. And I went to stand up, and I started glitching in the table, and I tried to move, and eventually it glitched me under the porch. And so, like, I'm walking down in, like, the underground of Whiterun, just like, I can't get out.
I don't know.
I took fall damage.
Yeah. I mean, I love glitches. I can't.
It makes me think, when we first started playing like first-person shooters, one of you, I think, had Call of Duty Modern Warfare, maybe? I think that might have been what it was. And we were playing, and you threw a grenade at me, and I blew up. And all my body parts just stretched out across the whole map.
Just smeared him across the whole
My
ship.
head was outside of the ship, but my legs and arms got flown to different parts, and they got like hooked on different stuff. So I was literally just like
smeared
stretched.
out.
Yeah, like.
And then we got to the point where we could replicate this. We could replicate it. We could do it over and over again.
Like in Halo, when we found out that if you kill the scarabs too quick, they shoot you out of the level.
You out of the map.
I tried to do that, and it didn't work.
Really? It still works on the Master Chief Collection. I did it.
We spent like an hour with both of us trying to do it on the different scarabs at the same time. We eventually got it.
Yeah.
But like things would just go wrong.
That's
fun.
Love glitches in video games. So that's all I got to say about Sea of Thieves 2. Sorry, Sea of Thieves. I'm reading my notes 2. Right here. State of Decay 2. Very good game. I like it. I think we should talk about Sea of Thieves.
Let's do it right now. We got time.
It is very, very torn.
It's got potential.
There's a lot of potential, but it's not there yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I would keep it on your radar at the very least.
It gets updates a lot, though.
I would keep it on your radar as something that might be great in a year when they're done releasing the 4 content, which they've already released one. The other 3 content patches that they're going to send out this year.
If I'm not mistaken, Sea of Thieves, it was all just a what's the word I'm looking for? a experiment. Anyways, like no one issued them to make this game. Who was making it? I forget. Rare. It is Rare. Yeah, they were just like, hey, let's try this.
They're like a old OG company, you know?
They're like, hey, let's try this. This seems cool. And they made like a playable demo. Microsoft was like, yes, let's do it. And they did. And I bought it because it's cross-platform. Honestly, like, if you say it's cross-platform between Xbox and PC and we can multiplayer, like, I'm gonna buy it immediately. I've got State of Decay downloading right now.
It's a fun game, man.
Like, even if the multiplayer is kind of meh, I'm still willing to, like...
If it has multiplayer functionality and I can be stupid with my friends, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I mean...
That's where the fun in games comes.
I would love...
being stupid with your friends.
I would love for you to be able to turn on cross-platform in Payday 2. Like, holy crap. Yeah. I play the crap out of that game. But, the Sea of Thieves, there's a lot you can do, but it gets repetitive real quick.
Yeah. You gotta be in the mood for that type of game.
And the more people you have, though, the better it is, honestly.
Yeah, the bigger crew you can get, the better. Because
the bigger crew you have, the more things are gonna go wrong. And that's honestly where the fun is.
But you can also get a bigger ship, and it's easier to not get destroyed by random people.
Yeah, because one thing I've learned in that game is that everyone is an asshole. There's they just released a new update for it called the Hungering Deep, where they basically added a megalodon shark that comes and tries to eat your entire ship and shit, and you had to fight it off. And awesome. It is literally designed in such a way that you cannot kill it alone. You have to have multiple pirate crews helping you out.
But no one's gonna do that.
It's the same thing as the raid, because everyone in that game is an asshole. Nobody wants to help the other people because it's like, oh, I can show up for a few minutes and fight it, but then the second something goes wrong, I'm gonna kill Brad because fuck Brad, I want his stuff out of his ship. Because everyone's an asshole, and just like, I get the whole point of the game being pirates.
There's gotta be counterbalances.
But in order to make that work, they need, in my opinion, I know it might not be a popular opinion, they need to have at least some safe zones where PvP is not active. Because
or guards.
I don't even think they need that. I think if you attack another player unprovoked,
I agree with that system.
I would love to have like just random like naval ships, and if you attack someone else, they have the option of putting a bounty on you. Maybe not automatically, but if you kill someone, they can say, hey, this person's a wanted person now. And if you happen to find a naval ship, you might not. And if you have a lookout, it'll be fine because like someone's looking out. Oh, there's one. We don't need to go that way. And but if they do see you, they'll chase you down and try to kill you. But the counter to that counter would be that maybe the naval ships have really good maps on them. Yeah. So some people intentionally go find them and kill them. Yeah. And which might be really hard. And so it's like that one thing could add content for everyone. For the single player people, it would keep them from being killed quite as often. Yeah. For the PvP people, it gives them for the PvP people that have gotten really good and
gives them a challenge.
Some complain that people just run away and it's boring. Well, maybe now you have something to actually fight. And for the people that want more content, it's there too. Maybe you could sneak.
You could just be a bounty hunter.
Maybe you could park next to it and sneak on the ship and steal the map. Yeah. Like, there's so much stuff you could do in that one little thing.
Yeah.
It would be so easy to make it a bounty ship, too. All you gotta do is add in a thing where when you get a bounty, they have a little Jolly Roger come out, like a flag on top of their ship. Yeah. And boom, know that they're a pirate ship.
My thing is like...
Yeah.
It would be so perfect.
It bothers me so much because they have a big raid system where like these forts activate and they've got gigantic things that multiple pirate crews are supposed to get together and fight it. But it's like, in my experience, every fucking time I go to one of those raids, all that happens is that all the other pirate ships try to kill me. Because they will sit there and basically go the Dark Souls route where they're just launching themselves at the enemy and dying over and over again because they just want to be the only crew, because there's a lot of treasure in those things sometimes. And there's one galleon that's sitting there killing off all the other ships that try to get there to help him with the raid because they just want all the stuff. And it's like, I get it, Rare. You want cooperation, but you're really underestimating how much people...
Yes, that's why they want people to cooperate in the raids.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like, when they released the Hungering Deep, the thing was this is going to bring pirate crews together because you'll all have to fight together to take down this...
Nope.
this new thing, and it's like
but
they ain't gonna do that
one treasure
because
chest, so
because
let's kill her.
yeah, I mean, really, that's the thing is like
You don't
nobody's
even
gonna
know.
cooperate. You are overestimating how nice people are in games
I've
because
played once.
people will be dicks that and they'll do it even if it's not going to benefit them at all. People are dicks in video games just because they can be and because they want to be.
I played once, and I was by myself, and I was on my ship because it was the stupid armored skeletons or whatever, and I couldn't beat them that easily. And this pirate ship comes up, and I was like, oh, are you serious? Really? And so I just stayed on my ship because I didn't want them to go get the treasure that I was digging up. Or no, the skull. Whatever. And they actually came up and stopped. And they're like, hey, are you by yourself? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, we have this mission over here if you want to come help us. And they're like, we'll be on this island. And they sailed away. And I was like, holy crap.
Here's the problem with this game. Well, first I'm going to go back. In that whole naval ship thing, I think in that same system have NPC merchant ships that are like almost guaranteed to have stuff on them. And if you attack them, the naval ships come after you too. So you have a
I would
PvE
like a system
and a
like
PvE element.
Because it gets like Brad was saying at the very beginning, it gets really repetitive when the only thing you can do is go to these 3 separate like alliances and do the same mission.
Yeah.
For them every single time, because I love the idea. I love the things where you get like a little treasure map and you got to go to the specific island and find the X and find where it is and dig up the treasure. But we're pirates. We're not treasure hunters. I need to be able to go and rob a merchant. You know.
I'd like.
And I know the pirate
randomly
aspect
made
is the
maps,
fact that
too.
there's the other people's ships that you're supposed to go on there. But like really, before they
Pirates
patched it, they finally did do a whole thing where like if you keep getting killed on your ship, you can scuttle your ship and like destroy it so that. But like me and Josh, the first time we played together, these people got on our ship and they would just kill us as soon as we spawned back on the ship.
We didn't even have treasure.
And we didn't even have. We like had spawned in the freaking outpost as soon as we started playing, and these people they weren't even doing anything. They were just standing there killing us just to be dicks.
I'm gonna get technical to explain this. They are. In general terms, as far as developers are pretty concerned, there are 4 types of gamers. You have the achiever, the explorer, the socializer, and the killer. And the problem with this game is the achiever might get something out of it, but there is no in-game thing, so once you get there, you're not rewarded in any way. The explorer, it starts that way, but pretty quickly you
That's
just
what
run out
I
of
was
stuff.
just saying. I wish there was random maps.
Very quickly you run out of stuff. Or multiple maps that maybe have different things going on. Like
kind of like how PUBG did.
Yeah, well, see, I would like a northern map that's like really cold and like the ice freezes and unfreezes, and so sometimes you can't go the same way. Like just vary it up just a little bit.
Watch
And
out for
they have the potential to do
glaciers.
something like that
Yeah.
later, you know.
And but the problem is there is no incentive at all for a socializer to play this game, so it's all killers, and that is a huge problem because a game of all killers will drive out every other type of player and will make that game fail.
Barely even any incentive for killers other than just killing.
Yeah, exactly.
There's literally almost no reason to play the game except costumes for you and your ship.
Yeah, that's
Like,
kind of the problem.
And they've made
As well
decisions
as
with this
Kirby.
game that I totally understand every one of the decisions that they've made. I totally understand why they did it. But they have such a potential to make such an awesome game because the whole point of the game is you're just being a pirate with your buddies and you're making your own narrative. You're just doing whatever you want to do. But it's like there's not enough incentive to continue playing other than just let's fuck around. And you can't do anything because all you do is just get killed all the time. And I know you just got to get good.
If they could add an alliance system, so like you have to be within, you have to be
Fleet.
You have to be close enough that they can attack you, kind of thing. But you get there and you can like send a request and be like, "Hey, do you want to join our alliance?" And then if they say yes, all of a sudden the socializer has like everything they need to make this game amazing.
They say yes, and it turns off PvP between you and that ship.
Exactly.
And they can't just end it whenever they want. After you end it, it's got like 10 minutes before it's in effect, and it notifies the other person.
And they can immediately say no, or they can just not say anything, and then you're not sure what to do. Like that, honestly, that little bit would make the game a lot more fun because you could meet other people. I would love for you to be able to add.
And that's such a simple thing to implement.
Another thing I would really love is to be able to name your ship and like your character, once it's named, you can't change it.
Yeah.
Because then, like, and it'd be something that you could see from a distance with a spyglass, because it'd be great to actually build your reputation that way. Like, one day you...
Oh, shit, here comes...
Yeah,
you know,
like,
you-
I mean,
you
it's just like
literally-
actual pirates. Like,
Yeah.
what was it? Blackbeard's pirate was like the Queen's Anne or something like that.
Queen Anne's Revenge.
Yeah, and like, imagine like playing a game, like you play a lot, you're like, oh crap, it's that guy, he's really good,
Yeah.
we have to leave. That would be really cool.
It would
I
be.
would like that.
It would really have that vibe going for it. That it's like we're actual pirates, and
because
some
they-
pirates are better than others.
Well, because the thing is, like, you know, you build your reputation as a pirate. You're like, how? Like, we're building a reputation with these NPCs that don't actually do anything.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to build an actual reputation.
And it's like...
And so you'd have to pick a
Because-
name of your ship, and it would be non-changeable. Preferably not have numbers in it.
And because of like the toxic nature of it, like if what Brad's saying, if they could have some kind of system like that where you could basically form like a convoy or something, where there's like a bunch
Yeah.
of you together, and
And you wouldn't get...
because what happens is we'll play together and we've got the one ship and we go and we do a quest, and it might be like a gold hoarders quest where we have like 10 chests at the end of it. And then we spend the next 5 hours sailing around the seas trying to find a fucking outpost that doesn't have someone there.
Yeah.
Because you can't trust anybody.
Yeah.
Like, you can't... It's not worth...
And that
going,
would
it's
actually-
not... It's such a toxic environment that it's not even worth
That would-
trying to be that
That would
person.
make the alliances cool, though. Imagine, like...
Because, like, you imagine if there was 2 of us and we could put all of the treasure chests on one boat, and then you have the other boat that's literally just fighting off people for
Yeah,
you
that would
while
be
you're
cool,
just
like,
running
not
back and
only
forth
that-
to sell everything.
You could make the boat
Thanks.
with the boat with all the money go try to fight that boat, and that boat might try to run away to get the boat that ran away that has nothing
Double
on
bluff
it.
them. Well, see...
I mean, like, it would have
But
so many different
with
things.
all this toxicity speak, it still is really fun to play when everything doesn't go awful.
Yeah.
I'd just like to point that
Well,
out.
yeah, I would like...
Yes,
I
but
would
The
say
first
that.
few times you play it, it is
When
really
you
It's
get
interesting, but when
together-
it happens every single
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
it's just... It becomes less like, oh man, that was hilarious, they killed us, it's like, this again.
You know
like,
what?
we get
the
to
most
the point where, like,
fun-
and sometimes you want to be a dick, you know. Sometimes, like, we all got together one time and we have a policy where we
Oh
try
my
not to be
gosh.
dicks, and so then with this time we're like, fuck that guy, let's go get him. So
And we
sail
just
after a guy,
rammed the boat
and we just
into
rammed
him.
the boat. He gets away. I shoot myself out of the cannon and land on his boat. Everybody dies except for me, and I'm just sitting here on this dude's boat, just like,
Now what?
well, there's nothing here. They didn't have anything.
And that's the thing.
And it's a
is that-
fun game.
There are two things that made
It's
that
so
game
fun to play
for
with
me.
friends, and the only reason is because you're playing with your friends.
Mainly
that's
because I'm the driver. But two things that are fun. One is also kind of annoying. But one,
I know where
your
it's-
crewmates get drunk. They will get drunk.
I-
It will happen. And the music they play is so much worse. But
But it's
and especially when
you're
you
like
puke
calling
on them.
out orders because no one else is even trying to do anything. And they're like, okay, I got it.
And then I
Wait.
stumble off the boat.
Oh, that's the wrong... Wait, no. Oh, I missed it. And then we crash. The other thing that's fun is storms.
Yeah.
the
Storms
are fun.
require
See, that's what you need,
so
more
much
random, fun
teamwork.
random events like ghost ships. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And when they're
And
drunk
really-
and you sail into a storm,
really-
oh,
We
it's
sober up so fast.
so
Like we've been talking,
chaos
we've been
and
talking so
awesome.
bad about the whole PvP aspect of it, just because people are. But like the naval battles are actually really fun.
Ugh.
Like when you are actively engaged in a battle with another ship out in the open seas, it's really fun.
But you don't
it's
want
really
that
cool.
But you don't want that to happen all the time.
But there's
You
a
want
time
your-
and place for it. You don't want
You
that
want
to
your
be
character,
the main
you
thing
want
that
players to get
happens.
frustrated because that gives them motivation to get better.
Yeah.
You don't want them to get so frustrated they rage quit, because if this game is going to survive off of microtransactions, they need that player retention, and they're
Yeah.
not going to get it if
You
it's
know,
a game full of killers.
you know what would be an easy fix?
What's that?
Some people might not like it, and they could just use certain servers.
Yeah.
They could just do just like Grand Theft Auto, where you have the thing where you can go.
You can join a PvE server.
Well, that
no,
would
you can
that
go
you could do
ghost
too.
mode,
Yeah.
where, like, I
Well,
can't
there's
be
so
attacked.
few. There's so few players in a map that it'd be better off doing a PvE
well,
server.
that's true too. But you could also choose.
Because then the PvP
if you
people that
wanna
are
do
there would be fights would be great because you
But-
know they're
but
after each
see,
other.
that was-
But killers don't like killing other killers. Killers like killing socializers because they get more mad about it.
Yeah.
That's also why killers don't like explorers, because explorers are like, well, I'll just walk here again. stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's what I am, is Explorer.
I would like something like I would love the I would love to have the Aurora Borealis come down and cause magnetic interference so your compass stops working.
That's what happens in a storm.
But if that happens when your compass starts working, you can still sail by the North Star.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's there, and I want a reason to use it. Because the compasses are always there. You can't lose them. They don't mess up in a storm, but it doesn't matter because you can't see the sky. But I'd love for like some sort of random event to happen where you're like, oh crap, we have to look up and actually find the star and drive that way. And if you can't see the star, then you're really screwed. It'd just be really fun, I think. Granted, you could always use the map. But maybe have something. Maybe that messes up the map
I want there to be like, I wish it was like randomly procedurally generated random maps, whatever.
Yeah. And I'm hoping they add a little bit more like fauna to the game. Because you've got chickens, pigs, and snakes, and then skeletons. That's it. That's the only thing.
Not just random maps. I want fog of war on the maps when you get there.
Oh, that would be.
I want it to be unexplored.
That would be really interesting. But well, maybe. Yeah, but that would take so long.
The only problem with the procedural generation is like you can't. It would work in like a party system where like us three are the only ones in the map.
Yeah.
Because like, if it does, I guess if it just decided to make one like today, if the server made this map today, then like anybody that plays today will get on that server or whatever. It could work that way.
Yeah.
Like they have to have a finite size, otherwise I might be 400,000 nautical miles.
No, I'm not saying a giant where you
same
end up somewhere.
size, but like
I'm just saying like just
unexplored. Like
they could just have a whole bunch of. They could have like an island building algorithm,
when you start
and
off,
you just put them in random places and different stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if they did have the fog of war and you needed to find a place, you could go to the NPCs and be like, "Do you know where this is, or the direction it's in, or something like that?"
The biggest, that would be
But
kind of
if
interesting.
they did
it tells you what part of the map it's on.
if they did have PvE servers, then that would definitely work.
Yeah.
The biggest complaint about most procedurally generated things is that it can make things look samey and boring. But Sea of Thieves is already that. So maybe that's not a horrible idea. There's a lot of stuff they can add. I just feel like they need to balance out their player base, or they're going to drive I haven't played it forever. They did drive me out.
Yeah. They drove me out because we have very little time that we can actually play together, just from circumstances of life. And when we do play together, it takes because it takes hours to get anything done. Like to finish a quest, to finish a voyage, sometimes it takes hours.
And sometimes
you lose it.
And the thing is, like, the first few times we were being chased by like other players, it was fun. But
when that became the only thing that happened,
when that's the norm, it's not fun. It's boring and annoying.
And it's like, and I get the whole cosmetics only thing because they want to keep the game balanced between people so nobody has an advantage. But it's like, you go through there and it's like literally the only reason you're playing the game is just because you're playing it with your friends. Because
I want temporary.
You go
buffs.
through there. Yeah, that would be cool.
Like when you join,
you go through there and you get all these things, and then you end up getting like
that would keep.
You get like 1,000 gold from a freaking 5-hour-long voyage, and then you're like, well, the cheapest thing on the cosmetic store is 100,000 gold. I can't buy anything. There was no point in me doing this.
That would help keep player retention, because a lot of people just server hop over and over again until they find one where people aren't attacking them. So it'd be great if you join the server and the first time, like, holy crap, I found a buff that makes my gun stronger. Or holy crap, I found a buff that makes my gun sail faster against the wind. You don't want to leave that server.
Gun sail faster.
Yeah, man.
My gunship sail faster against the wind. Chubb. Yeah. But, like, and then all of a sudden, and so there's these things, and, like, it'd be good if you could actually, like, those buffs you could see on, like, an actual piece that's on your ship. Like, maybe your sails look different, you get another sail. And so other players would see that and try to attack you. And I guess if it's a ship-based thing, if you die, you lose it, maybe? I don't know. It would be interesting.
I totally get it, but, like, I don't see the problem with progression. I don't see the problem with progression. I get that
I can tell you exactly why.
I don't like the pay-to-win shit, obviously, because that's bad.
I can tell you why leveling up in that game would be horrible, at least how it is now. Because the killers would be the ones that keep playing, and they'd be super high level, and when they find a low-level person, they're gone.
Yeah, but they can easily just make it to where, like, killing players doesn't give you experience.
Well, yeah.
Killing other things, doing other things.
We've already established that they don't kill us for any actual reason.
It doesn't matter.
I know.
That's why I think session progression session progression.
Because like have played Grand Theft Auto Online together.
Yeah,
there's skills in that. People did have different level skills.
That's true.
There's a progression system in that. You can buy better guns when you get to a higher level. But I've never gotten to the point, except for when you get to the point where you have that one guy on the server who's like level 873, and he's just sniping everybody from the top of Mount Chiliad over and over again.
You can turn off the PvP for
and if you just happen to...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Right now, it just wouldn't work.
If it's a healthy, flourishing game, there's going to be more people at the average level than there are at the extreme ends of the spectrum.
Speaking of which, 873 isn't the high end anymore.
I know.
That's why I think session progression would work.
Yeah.
Because every time you play, you would find different buffs, and it would be a completely different game for you.
Yeah.
Like if you played and you were normally in that's another thing. It'll help you mix up your style. That's something every game wants. Every game wants you to have some incentive to go outside of your comfort zone. So imagine you're playing the game and you're normally an explorer doing the gold missions, and you find like a shotgun buff, and suddenly your shotgun's really strong. You're like, hey, maybe I can go do the things where I have to kill skeletons now. It'll help push you outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I think that would work really well.
I do too.
And then when you leave, you come back, it's a new thing. Because Sea of Thieves is kind of about the individual story of you playing from that session.
Yeah.
So I think making that more fun.
There's just not enough things to make it.
Yes, I think more random events, but not necessarily more frequent, just more.
Yeah, more variety.
More variety, and I really do think the temporary buffs would work.
I think, other than people being dicks, the main takeaway is it's a really fun game, but
there's no reason to play it.
Prepare yourself to get bored.
Yeah, and that's the problem. There's nothing in the games.
No motivation.
The game is only right now people being dicks. There is nothing else.
Yeah.
Although I will.
Random events in RuneScape?
I don't know. I do like the fact though that if you get drunk, apparently you can see hallucinations. I figured that out.
You see sharks and
I was at the shore of a city and I saw a shark attacking. I was like, oh my gosh! And I ran out. And then I turned around and there's nothing there.
Fun game.
Okay. So
if you have a few friends, a problem, it's so expensive for just picking up for just a few friends to play. It's so expensive.
If you have a friend who has it, go try it.
It's on Game Pass though, right?
It's on Game Pass.
So if
That's how I play it.
If you have Game Pass and you know someone else that has Game Pass, I highly recommend you playing together.
Or if you
at
have
least
Game
once
Pass
or twice,
and you and your buddy are doing the whole Xbox game sharing thing, which a lot of people do. That's how I found out about it. Play with your buddy.
Yeah. That's but $60 for what it is right now. And honestly, $60 for what it is, if we didn't have the constantly being killed by everyone, no matter what thing, I'd even almost recommend it then. But like, you're so guaranteed to burn out within a week right now, it's just not worth it.
Well, that made me think of something else. But no, I want to backtrack a little bit because I looked up State of Decay 2 a little. And I saw a thing that said the big update is supposed to fix all the bugs.
Yeah, and that's what I touched on. There was a 20 gigabyte update.
Yeah,
they probably fixed a lot of it because they got a lot of fucking room and 20 gigabytes to fix some things.
But another thing is did you ever play Unturned?
Oh, I loved Unturned. It's so basic.
Well, I was gonna say, is that basically what State of Decay 2 is, except better graphics? I'm hearing.
Ask me specific questions other than
this room's
like ask me if there's a certain system in there that there is.
Some aluminum-y, like metally. Basically, in Unturned, you just you spawn randomly on the map with basically nothing, and there's zombies.
There is a set map. I mean, I played Unturned, but
there's a set map.
Yeah.
But you just
you spawn in a different place.
Yeah, and there was just stuff flying around, and you would pick it up, and then you could build stuff with. So
this is something that's kind of it's a touchy subject with me because I have anxiety and it kind of gets me anxious. The materials and stuff that you find in the game are finite. If you go from your home base and you go to this house and search this house, because like there might be like
eventually
it might be like 3 containers in there that you can find stuff in, and you search that house. You can't search that house again.
I think that's how Unturned is too.
Like,
we just never played long enough to...
Unturned is basically, it's not really server based, it's session based.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's got kind of a.
Even
the
when
map
you die and restart.
I mean, yeah. If you restart,
obviously restart. But no, I mean, how does Does dying, you come back as a new person in the same place you were, or
Well,
you just
no,
starting
if you
completely
die, you
over?
just lose that. So basically, like, I don't know what the
It's
upper
like
limit of the
RuneScape
people is. Like
hardcore.
right now, I have 6 people. I have 6 people in my community,
Yeah.
and I can switch it at any time. If I'm at an outpost or my home base, I can switch between
The
those 6
people,
people. And
yeah.
if one of them
Also,
dies,
You
they're
just have
just
to be
dead.
the other
You just
people.
have to be one of the
Well,
other
so
people.
if you run out of people completely,
I
is
guess
that
you
map
lose.
gone? Okay, you don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the map's gone, but like, it doesn't matter at that point, you know.
Yeah.
But there's a finite amount of resources, and when you go into a house, you can search the things, and you
So
might
you
find
can't-
nothing.
Forest is technically the same way. I'm pretty sure. I don't think things grow back.
Well, you can't just no trees do.
Do they?
Definitely.
Now I know.
You can't just make a base and
I know
stay
the
there.
suitcases
for
don't
the
come
rest of
back.
the
You
game.
can't stay there forever.
Suitcases
Because eventually,
That does make
see
sense.
the thing, but
Suitcases don't come
it's
back.
kind of
in
it's
multiplayer.
realistic, you know. If you go
Oh, I
search a
didn't know they did
house,
everywhere.
if you
Well,
go
I've only
search a
played
house,
single
you're not
player,
going to go back to the same house later and be like, oh look, here's all this stuff again that I found last
Problem
time.
is most important materials can only be found from suitcases, and that's my problem with it.
Have you ever played Don't Starve together?
Yeah,
Okay.
we played it.
I don't get that game.
I love that game.
I love the game.
I
It
don't-
is a really
I
good
don't
game.
get what you're supposed to do. But I guess
Survive.
you're supposed. Well, yeah, but I can't figure out how. I guess you're supposed to play Don't Starve, and then it teaches you how to play the game.
Yeah, I feel like it.
Maybe.
Because that's definitely the
I don't-
multiplayer version.
I don't know what to do in the game to not. I
That
We
don't.
lived for quite a while. I got struck by lightning as the robot, though.
I don't know how to. I'd like.
Which was
We were
awesome.
playing, I
don't
think
know.
I was playing with you.
I had a problem with it. I'll get Jordan to play.
It's kind of like that. You go into the place and you search the things and you find like there's a bunch of different guns.
I played as the
Well,
winner.
see, that's
all
how
kinds of
Unturned
different
is,
guns
but
with
you-
all
there's a-
kinds of
There's
different
a crafting
calibers.
system, I'm assuming.
I mean, kinda. You can, like, I don't think you can craft. I haven't got to the point where I can craft guns yet, but like,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
a thing you can
like
when you have your home base,
medicines
it
or-
has slots that you can build facilities in,
Oh,
like
that is a little
infirmary and a thing, and you can. There's a one that takes up a large slot that's a forge,
That's
and
more
you can
like
use
7
the forge
days to die.
if you have somebody that has a.
mixed with
Because
the
like
guns.
everybody has 4 skills, but then they also have a 5th slot that can be like a special skill, like medicine or
We're
mechanics.
playing 7
or-
Days to Die at some point.
We need to.
It's
never played
it's
it,
it's
so-
Minecraft zombies
You
but
guys prepare in
with the
7
with
days.
the RPG skill system.
It's so awful.
It's hard.
We'll
It
we'll
is
try
not
it one
easy.
day. We'll try
You're
it one day.
supposed to die.
One day when
man.
we decide
Dakota
to
can do
Let's
it.
Plays.
No, they're on like day 128. or
Granted, it
something
is
like
kind
that.
of flash gamey. Dakota's like the king of flash games, I swear.
I lasted my first 7 days on a game, and I just quit after that because
Me-
I saw the
Me
amount
and
of
Alicia
zombies.
broke the game because every 7 days a horde comes, and the size of the horde depends on how much you do. The more noise you make, the more come. And we kept
That might have
delaying.
been
We
why
kept
mine was
making
so
it.
bad.
I kept changing the day back over and over again to day 1, but apparently the sound keeps building up, and so like there were so many zombies that it was glitching. I broke it.
Maybe that's why I had so many freaking zombies, because I was literally mining underground. That I don't know if that would make a lot of noise because I was underground, but
That's why you don't use guns.
I
That's
didn't-
actually why you use guns in the cities, but your home base isn't in the city. Because you make the noise over there.
that's like a zombicide.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty good system. The crafting system is pretty incredible.
So I
actually.
should just go out in the middle of somewhere and make a bunch of noise and then do stuff at my base.
Maybe, I'm not sure. It might just
Anyway,
pull
that
from
sounds-
there
that
and then
sounds
pull from
pretty
there.
That sounds pretty cool. So I want to go back before we started recording here. You had something that bothered you about the new Pokemon game.
Oh, is that Eevee couldn't evolve?
That was
That
it.
was it.
That was it.
That
Yeah.
was it. Really?
I said it was stupid.
Well, that's a huge deal. That's not stupid. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
So I think we're about done here.
Free Eevee
Now-
for no reason.
Yeah, I think so. Probably in this game though, Eevees they're not just gonna be one Eevee in the game. I don't think they're gonna limit it like that.
I mean, that's what I was saying. It's not like you probably won't be able to just go and find another Eevee.
Whatever.
It should be easy, actually.
Because if
you
all
can see
150 Pokemon are in it, then that
Oh.
means that those 3 are in it, which means you
Mario
have to have a way
Tennis
to get it.
Aces is free this weekend, so by the time you hear this, it won't matter.
That's why we'll get our Instagram and Twitter up, and you can post stuff like that.
I could post it right now.
Yeah, you can do it on the Norton. Don't like my speech impediment. All right, I think that's all we got to say. That was interesting. Basically, we have a love-hate relationship with just about every game I'm playing right now,
Yeah, that's just how it is.
We're
You know?
gonna get sued.
except for Skyrim. Like I've modded the crap out of Skyrim. I have like 35 followers in Skyrim. Well, I added a
You
bunch
can
of.
only have 30.
I can have 80 and only 30 active with the mod I have.
Oh.
Of
course.
But I added a bunch of them, a ton of them, but I didn't look at where to find them.
Yeah.
So it's really fun. Just
So you're just walking around.
yeah,
you're
I'm just like,
hey,
oh,
look,
hey,
follower.
cool, yeah, great.
Wow, boobs.
Except for the dogs. I know, right? There's so many. I had to specifically search out the male follower ones because all of them are female. There are some really good ones, but a lot of them are just like the female ones. They're just made by perverts of the opposite sexuality or gender.
Persuasion.
Not necessarily. Technically speaking, there's
I
more
know.
likely it's going to be a gay guy for the 75-25 ratio. Of
For all
female
you
male
know,
video
all the
games.
girls are made by gay girls.
But, I mean, that's also possible. Probably not,
Maybe.
but it's possible.
Maybe.
I'm sure there's a few.
I'm sure.
But regardless, it bugs me that there are physics on some of these things that don't make sense. That's like there are jiggle physics in some of these mods, but like the steel armor shouldn't jiggle, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I can't fix that.
I've got jiggly steel armor.
Like, what is that made
It's
out of?
made of gel.
Well, you don't
Steel
download
low.
that mod to have useful followers. You do it so you can just leave them naked all the time.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And then the jiggle physics
They
makes
do
sense.
have invisible armor that's like really high armor class and so
Really?
yeah.
So they're just naked with high armor.
Yeah.
Oh,
To each
Lord.
their own, I guess.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do.
But let's wrap this up.
Kirby Star
I would-
Allies
I
isn't
would-
great.
Yeah,
The end.
there's no motivation to keep playing. You can run out of you can technically run out of lives.
I have 96
The
of them.
collectibles, the stuff you collect in Kirby Allies gives you more lives, but it's almost impossible to run out of lives. And if you run out of lives, it's full game over, which shouldn't be there for a Kirby game. So literally, there's no motivation to collect any of the special things. There's no reason to go out and do the
You
special
get
stuff.
pictures, and that's about it.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing.
I've died twice, and I have 96 lives, and I'm only on like the 4th world or something.
It's pointless. But anyways, let's wrap this up. We don't really have any places you can reach us because we're still working on that. I haven't got around to that.
Oh,
But if
Hyrule
you
Warriors Definitive Edition is totally worth it, but make sure you look up a guide for the Definitive Edition because they are not the same. Me and Dakota figured that out very sadly.
oh yeah, we
Don't
should talk-
use game guides.
We should have talked about that more. But
Adventure mode is
We're-
yeah, I know.
stupid.
we're running out
I
of
know.
time. Yeah,
Cool.
we don't. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we don't really.
2
have-
thumbs up. Smash that like button. There's
Yeah.
no like button on the Play Store.
What I say is like, subscribe,
Grill
rate,
glued.
do whatever is relevant to
Do
the
whatever is
platform as
relevant
you
to
were
the
on.
platform. So now
But
let's
we don't have a thing for us, but our other podcast, which is mostly movie reviews ish, depending on the day. It's Nerdly Kingdom, so we're on Instagram at Nerdly Kingdom, or Twitter. We're on Twitter at @the_nerddom. I'm probably gonna change that to Nerdly Kingdom at some point. We're on Facebook. Look up Nerdly Kingdom. You'll find us. Eventually, we'll have an arcade mode thing. It'll be great. I've been Brad. Josh is here. Jacob's here. I
He
pointed at the wrong ones when I
people.
said that, but great. We're by. Whoop.
Hi, and welcome to NPR.